Good morning. It's time to get in touch. In Touch is a public affairs show dedicated to improving the lives of Susquehanna Valley residents. I'm Freddi Hammer, News Director at Backyard Broadcasting. Whether for fitness or wellness or social interaction, the people who are part of ParkRun are a dedicated group of runners who create a family atmosphere that's positive, welcoming, and inclusive. Held each Saturday morning for free in 61 locations in the United States and more around the world, ParkRun is also in Williamsport, held at the Susquehanna Riverwalk with a gathering post race at the nearby Wegmans off Via Bella. Today on In Touch, I'd like to welcome Jeff Newman to share more about the weekly global event, ParkRun. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Freddie. I appreciate the opportunity to share information about ParkRun with the community.
What is your position as far as what you do for ParkRun?
Well, I am the event director for the Susquehanna Riverwalk ParkRun. So I kind of got it started along with some other members of the leadership team and also some students in my public health class from a few years ago.
Where did you teach?
I teach biology at Lycoming College.
Awesome.
And I teach microbiology and genomics, which is like an advanced genetics.
Okay.
But then I also teach a course for non-science majors in public health.
So does that go hand in hand with ParkRun?
One of the interesting things is we had started, I guess, doing all the legwork and the background work in order to establish ParkRun here in Williamsport as part of the public health course in spring of 2020. But of course, that's when COVID struck. And so then the international organization had shut everything down in March of 2020. And so we had put our planning on hold until things eased up a little bit by the fall of 2021. And that's when we actually had our first inaugural Susquehanna Riverwalk ParkRun. And ParkRun happens every week. So it's every week at 9 a.m. on Susquehanna Riverwalk by the dam near Wegmans.
Room to grow, right, Jeff?
Oh, there's definitely room to grow. Well, many of the ParkRuns are in the, many hundreds of events. So ParkRun started back in 2004 in England at the Bushy ParkRun is what it's called now, and then has spread throughout the world. So it's actually now in 20 different countries. So there are a lot of ParkRun events in the UK, in South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Germany, Canada has a fair number, and there are actually 61 in the United States now.
Jeff, how did you personally get started?
Well, during 2018, my wife and I lived in South Africa because I was on sabbatical. So I was doing research and teaching on a Fulbright fellowship. And while we were there, we learned about ParkRun, participated in ParkRun, and thought that it would be great to have it back here in Williamsport. And then once I got back and we started trying to get this up and running as part of the public health course as sort of a project for the course, and as I mentioned, it was shut down because of COVID, and then we started back up. But another motivation behind getting ParkRun started was that for our health insurance program, we had a wellness program through the UPMC wellness program.
Okay.
And we earned points for every healthy activity we would do. So whether you got a vaccine, you went to your primary care doctor, you went to the dentist, you participated in organized 5K, you had blood work done like lipid screening. So we could earn points for each of those things. And if you earned a certain number of points by the end of the year, they would put money into our health savings account. So often near the end of the year, it was a scramble to see, I still need to get some more points and trying to find some activities. And so one of the nice things about ParkRun is it's all documented, and because it occurs every week, you can earn points if one's employer has a wellness program like that.
Your website, which is parkrun.us, and I'm checking that, it says that it's a positive, welcoming environment. So people who have maybe never tried to run a 5K can come out and walk it. Or there's lots of inclusive opportunities for people to kind of make friends and start a new activity.
Absolutely. It's definitely a social group. And as part of the requirements for the ParkRun organization, they want the organizers to specify some location where people could then go and have, for example, coffee afterwards. And so when we chose our start point on the Riverwalk near Wegmans. That was sort of our designated place. So the idea is people will often go over to Wegmans after completing the park run for coffee or snacks and breakfast, donuts, whatever. I actually bring our girls over there often. They like to come because then we can go over and get a donut at Wegmans.
Bicycle and pedestrian access to the Susquehanna Riverwalk via Basin Street. That's going to go under 180. That under 180 access.
It would be great for being able to take bikes, for example, from the college and get over to the Riverwalk. And you had mentioned the website was parkrun.us. So if any of your listeners are trying to figure out how to get information specifically on Susquehanna Riverwalk Park Run, at that parkrun.us website, there's a link near the top for events, and that will take you to a map where you'll get to see where all the different events are around the United States and Canada in the initial map. But if one were to zoom out, you can see on that map how many events there are in the UK and South Africa and Australia and Japan and a number of other countries. And one of the great things about ParkRun is that once you register online you print out a little barcode, and that barcode is good at any park run anywhere in the world, essentially forever. So I'm still using my barcode, my registration from when I signed up in South Africa back in 2018. And you're able to keep track of all the events that you've completed so you can see improvements in your time. Now, some people walk it, some people run it. And it's really not a race or a competition as such, but it's more a matter of being engaged and participating in physical activity. And so you can see all your times at any of the events you've ever done. They're all collated on the website for your individual page as a park runner. And one of the other common aspects of park run is that there's this, park run tourism idea. And that's where people, when they are traveling, they will make it a point to do park runs in the different places that they're traveling. For example, this weekend, my wife and I and kids will be going to Ann Arbor, Michigan for her mother's 90th birthday.
Nice.
And there's a park run in Ann Arbor, so we're going to do that one. But we've had guests at our park run here in Williamsport from Australia, South Africa, Poland, many different states around the United States, because a lot of people will try to do as many different park runs as they can.
I love that. And you say you bring your daughters along with you. Now, my daughter was involved in Girls on the Run when she was in third grade, and that really set for the rest of her life. She was ready to go. Is that how your girls got started, or were they just inspired by your dad?
No, we've brought them along, so they enjoy going with us. So oftentimes, for example, in Ann Arbor this weekend and at our park run, the oldest, who is 8, she likes to run it with me, and so she'll keep up. And because she's under 11, she has to stay with me. She can't just run it out on her own, so we run together. But then the 2 younger ones, who are 4 and 6, will often walk with my wife.
Oh, nice.
And so that's what we're going to do this weekend is I'll run with the oldest, and then the other 2 will walk with my wife, Karen.
It's like a grassroots effort for fitness and health in America, because I believe in Western Europe you have a lot more fitness as sort of a movement, I think, as far as a culture. But in America we have half the culture does it and the other half maybe not. So this could sort of spur a lot more fitness for Americans.
Well, that's certainly the goal with getting this started as part of the public health program, because one of the things that we talk about is how in the past smoking used to be public health enemy number one, and now that there are fewer smokers, it's less of a problem, although vaping's another issue. But I guess public health enemy number 2 is obesity and sedentary lifestyles and all the negative health effects of obesity in terms of heart disease and cancer and diabetes and that sort of thing. People to be active and involved, hopefully they can reduce their medication use, maybe have fewer problems in the long run, and save really the entire country money in the long run by preventing disease as opposed to having to treat disease.
Park Run right here in Williamsport at the Susquehanna Riverwalk area there, 9 a.m. when people arrive. That's fun.
It's every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And in case of inclement weather, we can post on the website cancellation. So,
I see.
We'll run through rain, but during the winter, if it's a little bit icy, we'll cancel. But we are year-round, and every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
You have people that participate, obviously, as runners, and there's obviously some volunteers that get involved. What kind of things can happen as a volunteer for ParkRun?
Oh, that's a great question. So ParkRun is a volunteer organization. We always need volunteers. So individuals, if they're interested in getting involved in leadership, one could serve as a run director on a given week. But some of the specific roles that we have every week are timekeeper, barcode scanner, tail walker every week. And so, for example, for high school students that maybe need community service hours, for National Honor Society or other types of groups, these experiences are documented. And on a given Saturday, a volunteer really only needs to arrive by 8:45, and then they're finished no later than 10:15. Nice. So it's really only an hour and a half commitment, and we very much welcome the help as much as possible, because the more volunteers we have, then that allows some of the other organizers that volunteer a lot to be able to run. One of the reasons we started ParkRun here in Williamsport was because we enjoyed it so much in South Africa. We wanted to be able to do it here. But oftentimes we have the same group of volunteers that are serving as run director or timekeeper, and so then if we're doing that, we're not able to actually do the run ourselves.
This seems so grassroots. It makes me think maybe there isn't an overseeing board internationally, or is there?
Well, because there are over 2,200 events around the world, there is a headquarters and staff for ParkRun through partnerships with various organizations around the world. So in the United States, one of the partnering sponsors is Brooks. And so there's a very limited number of staff for ParkRun, and they manage essentially all the back end, so maintaining the website. And when there are new ParkRun events being established, they will send out all the materials that are necessary. So it didn't cost us anything to get all the materials. We have a flag and cones and volunteer vests. And just this past winter, we were sent an automatic external defibrillator. So we have an AED available. It's actually in a backpack, so we could run out from the start point if somebody was having a problem. And that's actually the tail walker's job, is to essentially follow up behind, so that if someone has fallen and hurt themselves or whatever, the tail walker could call back to the start point and we could come out with a first aid kit if needed.
Well, also on your website, you have ways to buy different items that you use at the runs, and you can also sort of encourage others to promote the whole thing.
Yeah, so whereas for a lot of fundraising 5Ks, and I'll say a little word about that in a minute, but there at those 5K, 10K events, one will often get a T-shirt. But how many T-shirts do individuals actually need? But with ParkRun, so we don't have T-shirts as such for like each individual week, but one can earn milestone T-shirts. So after completing 25 ParkRuns or volunteering 25 times, one becomes eligible for a 25 shirt, and those are purple. And then after you get to 50, you're eligible for a red ParkRun shirt, and 100 is black. People actually will wear these shirts and sort of shows how involved they've been. Yeah. And park runners will often, take pride in these milestones that they've achieved. And we haven't been around that long, so I only have a 25 right now, but I look forward to getting up to the 50.
I love that. You had said earlier that you're still using the wristband that you used in South Africa. I see that's also available on that same website where you get your ID products, and then you're using that same barcode for all the runs you take with ParkRun.
Yes, exactly. And because there are so many fundraising 5Ks, one thing that ParkRun does not want to do is take away from the fundraisers.
Sure.
And if anything, one, I guess, goal or one way to think about ParkRun is it's a way between fundraising 5Ks to essentially keep up your fitness level, so that this way when you are completing a fundraiser 5K, if there's one for a particular organization that you want to support, then because you regularly complete 5Ks, it'll be easier for you to engage and participate and not be intimidated by, I have to run 5K, which is just 3.1 miles. But if you don't run regularly, 3.1 miles can be intimidating.
For sure. Do you have greeters do you make sure that you're sort of definitely pulling people in, that they're not confused?
Oh, yes, we do. So at the very beginning, before each event, during the initial announcements, we'll ask if we have any people who are new to ParkRun in general, and then if we have any visitors who are visiting from other parts of the country. And so this weekend when we're in Ann Arbor, you say, yeah, we're from Williamsport, Susquehanna Riverwalk ParkRun.
Oh, I love that. It's such a way to really bring everybody together under one umbrella, one big running umbrella.
Yes, and like I said, many people walk it as well, and it's just everybody is being cheered on, so it's really not a competitive race, although we certainly have some people who run and obtain good times, but there are many, myself included, and we try to do a little bit better every time. Our oldest, our 8-year-old, had 38 and a half minutes not too long ago, and so after she had that, I said, okay, well, let's see if we can do a little bit better next time, and we got 38 minutes, and she's like, oh, that's my personal best.
Oh, okay.
I have a new personal best, and she was very excited.
Oh, I love that. That's just a wonderful family event.
And I've met many new people through Susquehanna Riverwalk ParkRun, so we get statistics after each event, and so we've had 184 different participants, and so meeting a lot of these new people has been very rewarding.
ParkRun is sort of innovative, but it's been around quite a while, and we want to make sure that everybody in Williamsport who feels like fitness is something that's a priority, this might be a good place to start to get inspired by others who are a part of ParkRun.
Yeah, absolutely, and there are certainly opportunities for leadership, getting involved, meeting new people, and in addition to physical health and fitness, there's also mental health, sort of being out there and having that camaraderie, and there's also a little bit of almost accountability, so if one becomes a regular, then the other members, the other park runners, look forward to seeing you every week. And so if you're not there, it's like, oh, where's such and such person this week? One of our regular park runners, Robin, was overseas this past weekend, and we're like, oh, where's Robin? It's like, oh, she's over in Greece. Oh, that's great. And so it's just meeting new people and having another social group that meets every Saturday morning.
All right, well, let's get to be a part of ParkRun. It's a free community event. You can walk it, you can jog it, you can every single Saturday right here at the Susquehanna Riverwalk across from Wegmans, and then a event after to sort of get to know folks, maybe a get to know with coffee after. So that just sounds like a wonderful time. So if you want to volunteer, 8:45, is that right?
Yes, and they can send, well, on the website it includes an email address, but they could send an email to Susquehanna Riverwalk at parkrun.com is our email.
Excellent. We're talking with Jeff Newman, the event director of the ParkRun at the Susquehanna Riverwalk that happens each week, and it happens nationwide as well as worldwide. You can find a ParkRun anywhere. Find out more at parkrun.us. Jeff Newman, thank you for joining us today on In Touch to tell us a little bit more about ParkRun.
And thank you so much, Freddie, for hosting me and for allowing me to share this information with the community.
In Touch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions, comments, or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive, Williamsport, PA 17701. Attention Freddi Hammer. Or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. For archive programs of our In Touch series, you can download and subscribe to our new Backyard Podcasting feature through a link on any Backyard Broadcasting website or obtained where podcasts are available. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Backyard Broadcasting. The programming discussed here on In Touch does not necessarily reflect the feelings or opinions of the management or staff. Thanks for listening to In Touch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.